Ladies and gentlemen, you are now listening to the #1 sports podcast, broadcasting Sundays at 9 a.m.-ish in Sacramento, California. Sports Talk 916. Now here are your hosts, Greg Bowl and Coach Greg Barroso.
Good morning. It's Sunday. It's right on 9-ish, and you're tuned into the little shindig that we call Sports Talk 916, hosted by the two-headed monster of Greg. I'm Coach Greg.
Whoa, hold on. What was that? Sorry.
I got my own walk-in music now.
Right? You know what's funny is I was actually gonna do that. I was gonna do a new intro for today, and I just ran out of time.
Okay. And that's Mr. Chief, Greg Bowl. And I don't know who's on. I can't see who's on. Is Oscar on yet?
I don't know. It doesn't tell me who's actually on. No comments yet. So
no comments. No. All right. So a lot of stuff going on today, and a lot of National Day holidays. And I have a couple. I know that my partner over there is wearing his national holiday T-shirt.
That's right.
And so what's happening? And it's national holiday in your house today too, isn't it?
It is 12 years, 12-year anniversary.
12 years of celebrating you way out kicking your coverage.
Oh, without a doubt.
I mean, you were Ray Guy in a indoor what is it? The indoor football, the 50-yard field football. So Ray, never mind. It sounded really good as I thought about it.
The Arena Football League?
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, you are a Ray Guy punt in an Arena Football League game of out kicking your coverage.
Right. So what are the national holidays today?
So today is National Coffee Cake Day. They all kind of lead into each other. So today's National Coffee Cake Day, which is kind of cool. National No Housework Day, and National Beer Day.
Oh yes, looking forward to National Beer Day. I will be partaking in National Beer Day.
Yeah, so you can sit on your couch, not doing housework, eating coffee cake, and drinking beer. What better day could there be?
Right. It's also, as we mentioned, my anniversary. It's WrestleMania Day, and because we talked about it, I'm going to go ahead and interview this so you understand what the hell is going on. It's also Rusev Day. Except we have to listen to an Xfinity ad. Hold on. There we go. Hold on. God damn it. Come on. And now it froze. Great radio. Here we go. I grabbed the wrong one, but it's okay. See? Get into it.
What day is today? That's right, you sing it loud and proud, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Rusev Day.
That's right, Rusev Day.
So I just looked it up. It's got.
Hold on, I can't get it to stop. There we go.
Its own Rusev Day has its own Urban Dictionary page.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
It says today, and it says every day is Rusev Day.
Damn right it is. But the one that matters the most, and you're just letting me have this one. Hold on, wrestle. Because this one's gonna touch home for you because I'm going old school.
Ooh, there we go.
Because back in the day when you actually cared about things that were good, you should recognize this. the old WrestleMania theme song?
I remember. I don't know whose theme song it is.
All right. Anyway, what was that? I don't know why.
So whose theme song was that?
That was just, they used to just do a WrestleMania theme song, and now.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, now they use like musical artists and they do their own thing. But yeah, so we'll get to a little bit of that stuff later. But I'm just excited. It's WrestleMania day. So, but there are other sports going on aside from WrestleMania.
Brock Lesnar.
How to get that in. Let's see. Kings, unfortunately, are out of the playoffs. We talked about that last week. They still have hope to finish the year at 500, which would be a huge win for them. They won they got their asses kicked in Utah.
Yeah.
They have Portland and Utah again, right?
Did they play Utah tonight?
Do they have any more home games? I can't remember.
Yeah, they played today, I think.
And then that wraps up the season. Yeah, because they play tonight, and then they wrap up in Portland.
Are they playing Utah tonight?
They have the Pelicans tonight, and then they
right.
have Portland on the road. They are 39-41. They need to win both of these to make it back into the 500 realm, which, like I said, would be a huge win for this team. What are your thoughts on the way the season ended, the way everything played out?
Well, I've been saying all year. What?
Just as a whole, what are your feelings on this right now?
I'm beyond excited. I've been saying all year that this is a 500 team. They never got more than 2 or 3 games above 500. They really never got more than 2 or 3 games below 500. They pretty much flirted with that 500 level all year. And I think that's what this team is, and it's proving out. And the exciting part is that for the most part, all of the pieces are there. They're probably, we've talked about this a bazillion times. Really, they're a backup point guard, maybe a center. I don't know. You can go either way on that. But they're just a couple of pieces away from a 50-win season. And I think that that's something that we have to look forward to next year. Is that's what they need to be shooting for. I certainly didn't expect them to be at this level this year. I think I predicted maybe 23 or 24 wins. This was, and by all accounts during the preseason, that's what they look like because they were playing horrible. And I can just imagine what the coaching staff was doing during preseason. We're not going to show anything. We're going to hold the reins on back. We're going to keep this team playing slow, playing defensive-minded. We're going to control the tempo of the game. And then I can see that they got together after the last preseason game and went, all right, so now let's unveil what we're really going to do. And from the first game on, they came out running like crazy. And that's really how this team is built. And I wouldn't put it past that they planned the crappy preseason the way they did. I can see coaches doing that. This team is set. It's got a great foundation. There's 4 or 5 really strong pieces in place. I think there's going to be a couple of key moves that they're going to have to make. One involving Harrison Barnes this summer. The other is a couple of free agents. Like somebody said the other day, now Sacramento has now become a destination location for not the upper level free agents, but I would say the second tier free agents. We're not a destination for a Kevin Durant. We're not
might be a destination for Kevin Garnett at this point. I mean, he's a little bit older.
Kevin Garnett, we probably could. Kevin Durant, I don't think so. And I don't know if a piece like that would really fit what we're trying to do.
Right.
I can see a good, strong backup point guard, a second level center, because we don't need a scoring center. We need somebody just to play defense and rebound, which we can't seem to get our center to do now. That's kind of where we're at. And I think the pieces line up. This reminds me so much of 1998, I think it was, 1999, when Vlade and all those guys, and when Vlade signed and all of a sudden we traded for Weber and we drafted Jason Williams, and it was kind of the same feeling that you had of we got something good here and it's going to be good for a while.
Yeah, no, I definitely believe so. And, the nice thing, too, is you mentioned it, that, they're not a destination city per se, but they're rounding the corner. And it's going to be good. Hey, guys, just checking in for the Kings this summer. We'll be interested in what do you guys think will happen with regards to raising and expiring contracts. Perfect timing, Mike. Expiring contracts, I honestly don't think that there's anybody on this roster that's expiring that's going to be back. I think the expiring contracts is going to be a 100% turnover.
Who are the expiring contracts? Do you know?
I can look them up real quick, but I know like Kosta Koufos is one. Frank Mason is one. There's, let's see here. Alec Burks is going to be gone. Kosta Koufos, Willie Cauley-Stein, Corey Brewer. I take that back. I think one person will be back. I think that'll be Corey Brewer. And then that finally falling off the books is Ben McLemore, Devontae Davis, Giorgio Pavianis, Karan Butler, Corey Brewer still there, and Cody Demp's fault. Man, Cody Demps for that 10-day contract got paid $47,000.
Did he even get into a game? Did he get into a game? On the floor.
No.
Huh? No.
Nope, never got on the floor.
Maybe he'll play tonight or tomorrow, or is his contract?
His 10-day expired, so I believe he's already been released. But no, I don't think any of those expirings are going to come back. Frank Mason has a team option, so
he's gone.
I think Frank Mason's gone. Like I said, I think maybe Corey Brewer just for the veteran presence.
I could see Costa coming back too, for just the toughness aspect of him. And I don't think Costa's going to come back. I think Costa is going to be one of those guys that, he showed enough professionalism and grit during the season of putting up with what he had to put up with, to garner that label from another team that says that this is the guy we want. This is the guy we want on a perennial playoff team that's going to make things better. And I think you're going to see Kosta Koufos on a very good team next year, and I think he deserves it. I don't think the Kings are going to. He just doesn't fit the offense, and they're going to want to run. And I just don't think it makes sense for him to be here next year. As much as I wouldn't mind him, I just don't think it makes sense. The only thing that I
also see. I also think the Kings you can ultimately see the experiment on Yogi Ferrell diminish as well. He has a non-fully guaranteed contract. So, him, Frank Mason, both have non-guaranteed contracts next year. But the one that stands out, and to answer Mike's question, what do you think is going to happen in free agency and expiring contracts? It's going to come down to one player, and it's going to come down to how much Harrison Barnes likes being here. Because if the Kings cannot extend Harrison Barnes on like a 3-year, let's say $50 million deal or $54 million deal, and free up some of the cap space that's associated with him right now, I'm not sure what the Kings are going to be able to do, because you look at the roster right now, and ultimately this is a super young team, right? I'm going to roll through their salaries for next season, and then it's just mind-boggling. So we'll go from lowest to highest. So Frank Mason, non-guaranteed, $1.6 million. Caleb Swanigan, $2.0 million, so $2 million. Harry Giles, $2.5 million. on his first round pick salary. 3.1 for Yogi Ferrell, non-guaranteed. 4.8 for Buddy Hield. You know he'll get extended next season. De'Aaron Fox still on his rookie deal, $6.3 million. Bielitsa, $6.8 million. Marvin Bagley, $8.5. Bojan Bogdanovic, last year of his deal, $8.5. So the highest the Kings have is $8.5. And then it jumps up to $25.1 million for Harrison Barnes. They have to restructure that deal for that to work.
And I can see that happening. I can see that he has the option he can opt out and restructure for a 1-year deal or maybe long term. And I can see them giving him a 3-year, $55 million, $60 million contract, something like that.
Right. Yeah, they can drop it down like that. Because even with him signing, they still have $37 million in cap space if he goes into his deal as it is.
Yeah. Now is that
37,
is that $37 million counting all those contracts that are expiring?
That's without the expiring contracts. So they'll have $37 million to fill the roster. If you could restructure him down and maybe do a 355 with a big signing bonus that doesn't hurt the cap, who knows? That could be beneficial. But they're going to have to do something because like I said, they're going to have to extend Buddy Hield. You got to believe Buddy Hield's going to get a max deal somewhere. There or here, I should say, not somewhere. He's going to get a max deal here. I think Buddy loves it here. I think Bojan is going to get some kind of an extension. I don't know that he won't get maxed out, but then you got to start looking at Fox and Giles as well because they have 2 years left on their deal after the season. So it's going to be interesting. But Mike, to answer your question, I think it's all going to come down to Harrison Barnes and what he's willing to do to make this team better. Second question Barnbaum had was, do you think the league will revise its fan code of conduct rules and procedures following incidents that took place this season between fans and Russell Westbrook, as well as fans in Costa Kufis? By the way, both occurrences happened in Salt Lake City. So I didn't hear about the Costa Kufis one. The Russell Westbrook one is a big deal. The DeMarcus Cousins one is a big deal. But at what point can you really stop fans from talking?
Nothing you can do.
You have to throw them out of the game. You can ban them from games. You can do all that, but it's not going to stop the initial action that's going to result in those disqualifications from games.
And I can attest to the crappy fans in Utah. And I think I've probably told this story before, but back in the days, I think it's probably 2002, 2001, there were about 300 of us that took a flight and we went to the last game of the year in Utah and spent the night there and kind of hung out. And really, it was kind of fun. Some fan organized it through Grant's show, and we all got tickets to the game, and then all got on the same flight and flew back there. It was great. The thing that really kind of surprised me was the reaction that we got from the Utah fans. I've been to probably 8 different arenas to see the Kings play, in 6 different arenas to watch the Kings play. And I have never been cussed at, sworn at, had stuff thrown at me. I had a little megaphone that somebody from in front of me slapped out of my hand, all in Utah. Nowhere else have I ever had.
Real quick, if you're bringing a megaphone to a game, you're an ass.
No, it wasn't. It was a little cup thing that they were handing out.
Oh, not a powered megaphone.
No.
Okay, I take that back. You're just kind of an ass.
And it was just the way that the reaction from the Utah fans was horrible. I've done it. I went to Seattle. I've been to Portland. I've been to Golden State. There's a couple others in there too. Utah was just horrible. I mean, the fans are bad. So I'm not surprised anytime I hear that fans in that arena are out of hand and just bad. It's they have to do something in Utah. It's not a league-wide thing. It's a Utah thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where it's like, okay, like I said, though, what can you do? You can't change the fans' perception. Like I said, it's going to require action in order to get them taken out of the game, and unfortunately, you can't stop them from committing those actions. So good run by the Kings. Definitely one of those years where it's like, okay, cool. Like I can get in on. We're on board. It's going to be a fun year next year, and it's finally one of those times where it's like, hey, we can look forward to basketball coming back.
Yeah.
Barn Bomb, I have a question for you because it's a little off topic. It's a true test to your fandom and your loyalty, Mike. So I have a true question. So Mike, if you can go ahead and just comment that you're here to make sure you're ready for the question. If you're on right now and you want to share the live video on Facebook, go ahead and share it and just title your share open topics. We're kind of just going to have fun today. And if there's something that people want to talk about, we're going to talk about it. Reminder that Sharks Talk 916 is airing another episode later on this morning, early afternoon. Keep an eye out for Chad and Nolan as they break down the Sharks season. Playoffs start on Wednesday. So lots to talk about with those guys.
Did that announcement come through? I mean, they weren't sure last night on the telecast whether they're playing Wednesday or Thursday. So
yeah, so it looks like it's going to be Wednesday.
Okay.
Possibly Thursday. Cliffhanger. Let Chad and Nolan break it down for you.
Right.
And so they will be on right here on Facebook Live. All right, Mike, you're ready. Okay. There is no question that Mike Barnbaum is through and through dedicated to his teams, the 49ers, the Sacramento Kings, and the Oakland Athletics. Oh, it starts for Golden Knights. Ouch. But it's also very apparent and very well known that Mike has what word do I want to use? Infatuation, deep in loyalty that's beyond words to Sacramento State and their athletics and their program.
Yeah.
Mike, in June, the San Francisco Giants are hosting Sacramento State Night at Oracle Park. Right when I saw that, I was like, man, I bet you Barnbaum is going to be torn by that because he has no affection for the Giants whatsoever. But I had a feeling that his affection for Sacramento State could overpower that. Mike, what are the odds that if tickets are cheap, which I know for a fact they're going to be, that you put your bias aside for the Giants and attend Oracle Park for Sacramento State night and get yourself a shirt or blanket or whatever it is that they're giving away that night because of the fact that it's got the green and gold for the Sac State Hornets? Mike, what are your thoughts on that? Or is your head just going to pop with the unknown feeling of crap? What do I do with this? And I'm out of coffee.
That's a question and a half. And Mike, if you do decide to go, do you need to have the public transportation schedule to get down there? Because I happen to know the best way to get there. And will you allow yourself to go on BART?
Or a bicycle? All right, Mike, you can keep pondering it. Also, big shout out to Nolan Torrey of Sharks Talk 916. He hooked the wife and I up yesterday with tickets to that Giants game for our anniversary. And big ups to Addison Moore, our new blogger for sportstalk916.com, covering Giants and Rivercats for us. Cool. He gave me a tidbit on some parking, which saved me $40. So definitely a big plus there. So Literally, we got in and out of a Giants game with $30 for beer and $12 for tolls. So a $42 Giants game.
How'd you get away without parking?
Don't worry about it. I'm not giving out my secrets. We'll talk offline. Barn Bomb. As far as Sacramento State night goes at Oracle Park, I have to see what date it's on and then determine if I can go or if I have scheduling conflicts. So he would go. So Sacramento State, the love of Sac State overpowers the hate of the San Francisco Giants, which, I wasn't sure if that love for Sac State was going to be big enough. But then again, I think Mike appreciates the fact that he would get to go watch baseball in one of the most beautiful ballparks in all of sports. So, Mike does have a sane bone in his body. As far as transportation is concerned, if I could go, I would take the mega bus from University 65th Street Station. It goes nonstop to San Francisco Caltrans Station.
There you go.
Everything. Mike, if I need to get to Albuquerque, New Mexico, what bus do I? I'm just kidding. He'd probably know the answer to that. He'd be like, let me research that. Let's see here. Let's talk some Giants baseball.
Okay.
This team, man, is going to be one of those things where we talked at the very beginning of the season when the Dodgers hit 8 home runs in opening day. We asked, how long is it going to take for the Giants to hit 8 home runs as a team? I said 25 games. I believe you said 35 games. We are what, 9 games into the season right now? What is this team's record?
Are they 3-6?
They are 1, 2. They're 2-3. They're only
for Albuquerque, New Mexico. Take Southwest from Sacramento
Love it.
International Airport.
They're 5 games in. They're 2-5, or 2-3.
No, they're more than that. They're more than that.
No, they've only played. Oh wait, where's the? Oh, I'm looking at their home. This is just their home schedule. What the hell's wrong with their website? Why is it only showing me home games?
They haven't even played 5 home games. They've only played 3.
Right, but it's only where the fuck is the San Diego games? Their schedule goes from April 1st. Oh, because they played in March. Duh. I'm sorry. So they're 1-3, 2-5, 2-6, 3-6. They're 3-6. You're right.
3-6. Like
3-6. The schedule was stupid. So through 9 games, the San Francisco Giants currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 home runs through 9 games.
They have that many?
Yeah. Bumgarner has 1.
Oh, that's right.
Duggar has 1. Evan Longoria has 1. Brandon Belt has 3. Hey, they're on pace. They're gonna blow our minds.
I know, right?
Addison says, "Look at my blog for up-to-date Giants news." Absolutely, Addison. I'm gonna get you moderator privileges as well to the Sports Talk 916 Facebook page, so that you can share the links to your articles directly to the page, just like Chad and Aaron with Sharks Talk as well. The Giants today take the hill, or Drew Pomerantz takes the hill today against the Tampa Bay Rays. Samardzija had a pretty damn good game yesterday.
He did play well. He did pretty well.
4 2/3, but it was a solid 4 2/3. Belt had a great game, and I was texting you guys yesterday, and Belt pisses me off. Brandon Belt is one of those guys where you love him when he's doing good, you love to hate him when he's doing bad, and it's impossible to pick which side of the fence you want to be on. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, do I want to like him? Do I want to hate him? Like, what do I want to do with Brandon Belt? And you kind of start leaning toward, I just want to hate the guy and I want to get rid of him, and whatever. And then he has a game like yesterday where he had 3 RBIs. He was hitting the ball all over the park. He was beating the shifts, which, by the way, I've never seen a professional baseball team. So first of all, I hate the shift. I think the shift is stupid, and I think the rule changes that they've discussed about eliminating the ability for the shift is smart. I'm not a big fan of it at all. Yesterday, the Rays took it to a whole new level, and I don't know if they did it in the first game. I'm assuming that they did, and I'm assuming that it's not going to be the last time we see this, but the Rays' third baseman shifted all the way to left field. The left fielder shifted to left center, the center fielder to right center, and the right fielder played the line. They played a 4-man outfield against Brandon Belt yesterday in every at-bat.
Crazy.
The shortstop
one of the at-bats, I know that somebody was on base and they played a normal shift.
He did have one on base when he hit the home run. They played a straight up defense on him to cover the steal. But literally, it's like one of those things where you're like, what the hell's going on here? And the shortstop basically played short, left the whole third baseline open. If Brandon Belt, and I've been saying this for years, if Brandon Belt can learn to just drop a bunt down that third base line consistently, Brandon Belt will beat the shift every time because he's fast enough to do so. There's no way, if he could get it past the pitcher and close enough to the bag, there's no way that shortstop is getting there quick enough and throwing across the diamond, running in the opposite direction to get Brandon Belt out before he makes that throw, to make the first base. And then they'll stop with the bullshit shift and play straight up baseball. But Brandon Belt yesterday had a big game. He had the 2-run homer, which he called, by the way. He straight called that home run. He posted a picture the other night, 2 nights ago on Instagram, and he was wearing a hat that said positive vibes and blah, blah, blah. And someone commented, dingers tomorrow, and his response was, duh. And he fucking hit a home run. I'm like, can you start calling your own shots more often?
So I think I disagree with you on the shift. I don't mind it because I think it makes it there's a little bit more interest in there. I mean, I think it makes it a little bit more challenging, even though it's challenging enough as it is. I think what they need to do to beat the shift and get rid of it is for guys to learn how to hit the other way. If Brandon Belt can not only bunt to the third base side, but actually hit some kind of line drive to left field, he could have doubles all day long. And he starts showing a propensity to do that, then all of a sudden they're not going to shift. There's no way they won't be able to. So the way you beat the shift is hit to the other field, the other side of the diamond. And so if he could learn to do that, that shift would go away.
I think if he learns to bunt it first, and just get the confidence of seeing the ball going down the left side, I think the hitting follows suit. I don't think a lot of people, just have him hit the ball down I think Brandon Belt is a very visual baseball player. Like, he has to visualize and see what's going on in order to get to the production he wants. He said it before
I'm not talking about just Brandon Belt. I'm talking about
but I'm talking Belt specifically, just given the fact that he's he's the one that we see it most prominently, at least on the Giants. No one, Addison's right, hit where they ain't. Yep. And if he can learn to do that, I mean, he just needs to take some him and Brandon Crawford and Pablo Sandoval need to get just in the cage together and just work on that last second swing. Yeah. Because Brandon Crawford yesterday and Pablo Sandoval both in the game before put just seeds straight down the line, and it was like one of those things where it was literally just like instantaneous. You're like, oh, there's a double. And Pablo hit one, I think it was 2 days ago. It was the Friday day game where he put one down the line and it was a missile. And Crooked Kite were like, hey, what was the exit velocity on that? And it was 104.
Oh, shit.
Opposite field, down the line, a screamer. And it's like, if Belt can learn to do that consistently, Brandon Belt is an all-star first baseman because he already has the glove work. He already has the power. If he can get that extra aspect to the offense, I think Brandon Belt is one of those guys where it's like, hey, he's an all-star, and now we don't want to trade his ass.
Right. So I
I don't
posted
know
a
the shift in
question.
baseball, but I heard that the shift may become a thing of the past in future seasons. The Office of Major League Baseball is considering rule changes to the shift in future. Yep, that's what I mentioned that here in a second.
So I posted a question to you yesterday while you were texting back and forth, and you said, "Hell no." I want to post this out to everybody else. Is Brandon Belt Willie Cauley-Stein of the Giants?
No. I'm just going to answer for you. No.
Inconsistent play, shows sparks of greatness, and then all of a sudden nothing for games on end.
Here's the difference, I think. And to me, it's Willie Cauley-Stein's inconsistency and issues is mental. It's not, and it's mental and it's effort based. There's never been a game, even when Brandon Belt is slumping at the plate, that you don't get 100% effort in every other aspect.
No, I agree with that.
If he's not hitting and he gets a walk, Brandon Belt's trying to steal a base to get to second base. If he's not hitting and he's not walking, but he's on the field, his glove work is phenomenal. Like, and he's still that motivator. He's still up and he's still doing his thing, and he's in the game. Willie Cauley-Stein, it's all just me. It's not team related, and I think that's the big difference. So, I would take Brandon Belt on my roster over Willie Cauley-Stein any day of the week. And I was talking to a couple guys yesterday in another group messaging, and because they were talking about the game, and with me being there, I was telling them different things that I was seeing, and there are more players on the A's that are much more in resemblance to the Kings than on the Giants. Mike, I'm not sure what you're getting at with that, but I'd be interested to hear it. If Belt was on any other team, he would hit 30 home runs every year. I don't think so. I think Brandon Belt is injuries. So. Brandon Belt can't stay healthy. Brandon Belt, and it's not even things that's like, it's not even that Brandon Belt is getting hurt. He's getting the most fluke-ass injuries you can imagine. Oh, he gets appendicitis. Okay, that sucks. He, hits his head in batting practice or fielding practice. That sucks. You know what I mean? He's not getting hurt running. He's not getting hurt fielding. He's not. Happy National Beer Day, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's not, rounding the bases and tripping and falling and getting hurt. He's not doing any of those things that make him injury prone. He just has like the worst luck ever.
Yeah. And he does go on. He is a pretty streaky player too.
Yeah,
he will go in slumps for a month on end. I mean, month after month. And then have 3 weeks of just he's on fire, and so that's that's kind of on him a little bit too. He needs to develop a little bit more consistency.
But I don't think it's lack of effort. And if we're
I don't think either.
Go back or lack of desire. If we're gonna go back to the Willie Cauley-Stein, I mean, there's no comparison. Willie Cauley-Stein He's not focused on his sport. He's focused on his craft outside of basketball. Whereas Brandon Belt, I believe, is fully focused. And I think Brandon Belt gets bothered by it more than anyone else does, that he streaks as bad as he does.
Yeah.
But I told you before the show, when we were talking before we started, that I have a take on this Giants team that is going to shock you a little bit. And I don't think that this team is going to be as bad as we thought.
Really?
The originally we said I want to see him win 74 games. We want Bochy to hit 2,000 so he can retire 2,000. I don't see a playoff team by any stretch of the term unless something big happens. Mike, I don't even understand where the comparisons are for this. It's one of those things where this team has a lot of good hitters. They're not power hitters, but they're good hitters. They have with this Kevin Pillar deal made that outfield very formidable as far as defense goes.
Well, that's never been an issue. Defense has never been an issue with this team.
Let me finish though.
Okay.
So, and Pillar brings a bat to the offense that can bring some power from the right side as well. The infield's never been a question. So the defense is going to keep this team in games. And if this last series, they're kind of coming into their own a little bit where they're finding the timely hitting. And if this team can continue with the timely hitting and hitting in situations and moving guys over when they need to and playing small ball a lot like they did in 2010 before they brought Cody Ross in who started hitting home runs left and right, this team isn't going to be, in my opinion, I don't see a 100-loss team. I can see a team that flirts with 500 ball this season. And 500 ball is not going to get you anywhere. It's not going to blaze any trails, and it's not going to do anything super special for the fans. But I think it's going to at least give some light to the future. Farhan made it very clear that this season was about building up the farm, nothing more, nothing less. And Oscar, if you have any Kings questions or any topics you want, we'll jump back. Like I said when we shared the video earlier, it's open topic today. So if there's something you want, once we finish this thought, we can switch back to it. So if you have something to say, let's do it. The farm is stacking up. San Jose looks good. Yeah, they have Ramos, they have Bart down there, and I don't mean Helio Ramos. I'm sorry, Henry Ramos is in Sacramento. They have Bart. Helio Ramos is still in the system. He's just not coming along as fast as they thought he was. The Rivercat system is actually shaping up relatively nicely. Pitching looks good. They have Henry Ramos. Mac Williamson's back. Williamson had 2 hits last night. They signed your buddy Michael Reed back to learn how to play the outfield properly.
Baseball.
There's a lot of young talent on this Rivercats team that shed some hope, and I really hope. I was talking to a few people around, a few of the people around the stadium, kind of just bullshitting around with people yesterday, and the buzz around there from a lot of people is that Farhan is still very active and looking for a trade, and it could be another big outfielder, it could be another big bat somewhere. So, I'm in a position where seeing this team live, it's a lot different than seeing them on TV, seeing the chemistry, seeing the way that they're interacting in the dugouts, seeing the way that they're motivating each other. They want to do something special for Bochy, and I don't think that they're going to be okay with a mediocre, 100-loss season. And I think that's paramount. So, playoff team, absolutely not. 100-loss team, I'm also going to say absolutely not. I think it's a 500 baseball team. And much like the Kings, if the Giants can find a way to finish the season hovering around 500, I'm good with that. Because 500 is a whole lot less embarrassing than 100 losses.
Yeah, that's true.
I would think that.
I think, though, I just don't know that a singles and small ball team can play 500 baseball. I just don't think it's possible.
I just don't think they're going to remain a singles and 500 team.
Where are they going to get
team?
Where are they going to get the power from? They have one guy that can hit home runs, and that's Belt. And if he can stay healthy,
Belt can hit home runs. Longoria can hit home runs.
Longoria can't hit the side of a barn door right now.
Who?
Longoria. He can't.
Longoria's going to be fine. I think he was hitting the ball good until this series against Tampa Bay. I think they're just like embedded emotions playing Tampa Bay this weekend that got him distracted. Duggar's going to be able to hit the ball fine. Like I said, Pilar. Crawford has streaky power. If Posey can figure out where the hell his legs are underneath him, I think Posey can hit the ball just fine too. It's just a matter of putting it all together. I think they're going to be fine.
Like our friend James,
keep an eye on Zach Green. I'm told he went to the Rivercats game as a youngster. Now he's on the team. I was just told Zach Green attended Jesuit High School. Zach Green is a first baseman. He is active on the roster, and I saw him play the other night. He actually didn't look bad.
Now, did you see? Did you go to the San Jose game, or were they actually?
That was rained
playing?
out. That game didn't happen.
Oh, it didn't. Okay. I'd love to be able to see what San Jose's got put together, because I think they have a good. I want to see how Bart does. I think he's going to tear up Class A ball.
I think honestly, we're going to see Bart in Sacramento before the end of the season.
Yeah,
I think he's going to streamline it.
The River Cats seem to have stuff put together right now. I mean, they're 2-1, and they're scoring some runs. They scored 11 runs last night.
Yeah,
so.
And I think Bart is going to streamline, because right now they have Stephen Vogt, who I didn't know was down simply because of the fact that he doesn't have any strength in his throwing shoulder right now. That's what he's rehabbing. Okay. And they have Aramis Garcia, who is going to definitely be a good player. But he's not any future at catcher. Zach Green, Ryder Jones, both of these guys on the infield are going to be something to keep an eye on for sure. And then the River Cats outfield actually is pretty good. Henry Ramos can hit the fucking cover off the ball. Mac Williamson, Mike Yastrzemski is down, and he looks really good at the plate. Austin Slater's streaky. This team is built to do pretty good, and I think it's going to be one of those things where there's going to be more focus on the River Cats outfield than there particularly is on the Giants outfield. And that's going to be left field. Like, can Gerardo Parra produce any more in the major leagues? Besides the fact that he has a cannon in left field, I believe he's 0 for on the season. He hasn't got a hit yet. Or he's like 196 or some bullshit right now. And that's just absolutely terrible. The River Cats pitching staff looks good. Ray Black hit 103 on the gun the other night, which was unheard of. And I finally got to see the switch pitcher live.
Oh, did you?
And his name is Pat Venditti, by the way, not Venditte. Venditti. It was so he pitched 2 innings on opening night. And to watch him, I came out of the press box and I went downstairs and I was like, oh shit, Vendetti's in. And he was facing a right-handed batter, so he's throwing left-handed, and just the movement on his ball was just insane, right? Or I guess he was throwing right-handed, right versus right, lefty versus lefties. Or am I saying that backwards? I don't know. Anyways, it's usually lefty versus righty versus lefty, right? Yeah. So, the movement on his pitches were crazy, and I'm like, okay, well, I wonder what it looks like, if he flips them. And then, literally, if he gets the out, if he's off the circle, if he's off the mound, he just waves whatever hand he's gonna pitch with at the umpire. So he's standing there, his gloves off, and he's like, "Hey," and he switches the glove and gets on the mound and throws right-handed. Wow. And then he flips it around and he like waves his other hand, and I'm like, and he switches up, and his movement and speed and everything is consistent on both sides of the ball or both sides of the rubber. He was killing it.
Hey, so just to correct you a little bit.
Hold on. I got to do something.
Damn it, Barnbaum.
What now?
TJ told me to cue it up. Bart does not go to San Jose, but the idea is coming soon to reality. It is under construction now with another extension past Warm Spring, South Fremont slated to open within the next 12 months.
This is Mike Barnbaum.
Anyways, what were you going to say? You're going to correct me on what?
Should we tell him that there's actually a player named Bart that's playing for San Jose?
No, I think we just let him think that we're always talking about Bart in San Jose.
Okay.
That'd be better.
Wanted to correct you on Gerardo Parra. He's batting .222. He's 6 for 30. He's actually their 6th best hitter behind Bumgardner, Sandoval, Crawford, Duggar, and Brandon Bell.
And who was it yesterday that was hitting like a
Joe? Connor Joe got his first major league hit.
Yeah, it wasn't Joe though. Kevin
Pillar is 2 for 13.
I don't know. Maybe it was someone else. Maybe I was just looking at someone else. Then either way, but Parra needs to get his shit together though, because they brought him in for a little bit of pop and for some timely hitting, and he's not doing anything with runners in scoring position at all. No. So I think the left field spot is going to be very interesting watching Sacramento for sure.
Although Parra has two RBIs, so
right. So let's see here. Good old Barnbomb. When does Vendetti have to declare which way he's going to pitch? That doesn't make sense.
Why
does why?
Yeah, why does Vendetti?
You don't see that now, do you? Get a TJ sound clip ready. Because of the fact that it's unheard of that a player throws both sides of the mound. It's just like a pinch or a switch hitter. A switch hitter has to declare what side of the plate they're batting on before the at-bat starts. So Pablo Sandoval can't come up to the plate as a left-handed hitter, get blown off the mound by an inside fastball, and then go, you know what? This guy's movement would be better suited for me to swing from the right and switch mid at bat. He can't do it. He has to declare to the pitcher and to the opposing manager what side he's going to be batting from. Same thing from a pitcher. If a switch hitter comes up and the pitcher says, "Oh, I'm throwing right-handed," then the batter can declare that he's going to be throwing left-handed or batting left-handed, vice versa. So it's a kind of more of a respect to the game rule than it is a advantage disadvantage. If Barry Bonds comes up and you want him to face a right-handed batter or a right-handed pitcher, then the opposing manager can go to the bullpen and bring in a right-handed pitcher. You couldn't try to trick him at the last second and go, "Oh, just kidding, he's going to throw left-handed." Like it's all, it's all just, it's a respect of the game rule.
And a switch hitter,
he's a switch pitcher. It's not like you're going up there and the batter's like, "Hey, Bumgarner's on the mound. I want Bumgarner to throw this pitch left-handed." He's capable of doing both, so it doesn't impact him at all.
And the switch hitter can, if a new pitcher comes in, he can move to the other side. He doesn't have to stay hitting right the same way against a new pitcher. So
right, if it's like a mid at bat pitcher change, unless there's an injury, you're not going to see that happen.
And Bumgarner can throw a lot of pitches left-handed because he's a left-handed pitcher.
I meant right, whatever. You know what I meant. Shut up. He bats right hand. I'm all confused today, man. It's Rusev Day. I'm distracted.
No, it's your anniversary. You're thinking about your lovely wife.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I say he's an idiot.
Oh, still one of the. I'm gonna miss that clip.
We're gonna keep that one in my clip. We're gonna stay.
Oh, without a doubt, forever.
Fucking punter.
But yeah, so I don't think this Giants team is gonna be as bad as we once thought. I think there's a little bit of a glimmer of hope when it comes to the San Francisco Giants. Now,
and I think that we do need to put in that caveat of if they stay healthy.
Yeah,
if they don't stay healthy, if Belt gets hurt and Panic gets hurt, and now all of a sudden they're playing with two far inferior infielders, this isn't a 500 team. This team has to stay healthy. They're not deep at all. They're not deep,
but at the same time, they're oddly deep in Sacramento, which, it's weird. It's one of those things where it's like Breivik Valera, I think, is going to be a very good up and coming infielder should they need him. He reminds me a lot of Alan Hansen, but better with the bat. He had some very good at bats in that 11th inning win on opening night. You have the Abatala Avellino who can play second base as well. Ryder Jones is, he's over at third, but then they got Solano who can also play at second base. It's gonna be interesting. What I want to really keep an eye on is Mac Williamson, though. I want to see if Williamson gets humbled a little bit by getting waived and then not getting picked up by another team and then accepting back to Sacramento. I want to see if that changes him as a player a little bit, to see if he realizes like he needs to find that consistency, because Williamson, fielding wise, can fill that hole in left field perfectly. He's got a cannon of an arm. He's got a great glove. He's fast, but he's Brandon Belt at the plate.
He makes Brandon Belt look like Pete Rose.
Yeah, but when he's hitting the ball, he hits the fucking cover off.
But I saw this.
It's home run or bust.
I saw this posted the other day, and other than that first week that he came up and was hitting like crazy, has he really hit the ball? He had one good.
It's home run or bust.
But he's had one good week in the major leagues, and that's it. And I don't know that he's a major league hitter. That's why I'm hoping that maybe him getting sent down, getting released, getting designated for assignment, and then nobody coming for him helps him change that approach, because he doesn't need to be a home run only guy. He can be a power hitter that hits the ball hard and uses his legs to add something new to the team. But you're right. In 2017, he hit 235 with 3 home runs. And he hit those all in 1 week.
2 doubles, and that's about it. He scored 8 runs in 28 games, 68 at-bats. 2018 in Sacramento, he hit 269 with 13 home runs. 2018 in San Francisco, before he got hurt, in 28 games, he had 4 home runs and hit 213. And right now in Sacramento, he's 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a double. No, just 2 hits and 2 RBIs. So, yeah, it's in his major league career, he's played 120 games. He's had 306 at-bats. He scored 38 runs, 68 hits, 118 total bases, 9 doubles, a triple, 13 home runs, 33 RBIs, and 29 walks. Intentionally walked once, 95 strikeouts. That's not a good ratio.
No.
He's batting 222. The A's roster is so deep that many guys that would otherwise be on the roster find themselves with Las Vegas for now. Dustin Fowler, Daniel Mangren, Sheldon Noisy, and Sean Murphy are just some. Yeah, the A's are deep as hell, but as an A's fan, you gotta be a little bit concerned that some of those guys are going to be leveraged for someone else, another piece, and you're going to end up losing a lot of that depth.
Yep.
And that's always a huge fear until the A's prove otherwise. You kind of always have to be in one of those situations where you hold your breath. You have tainted optimism, I guess you could call it, because you just simply never know what's going to happen with that front office. As long as Billy Beane's around, you have to be skeptical.
Yep. But in the long run, they end up putting a good product on the field, and even though he gives up on a lot of players really quickly, he brings good players back, and he gets the most out of his money, and then they turn the team. But they always seem to have something good coming back. So, it's just a different kind of thing with the A's.
No, I agree, and it's one of those things where you just need to figure out whether Greg B isn't today's anniversary. I thought I saw a Facebook post about it. If so, do you? Yes, it is our anniversary. 12 years, Mike Barnbaum. 12 years. She's I received notice from Washington, D.C. that she's going to get a Purple Heart soon for putting up with me for that long. Possibly a Nobel Peace Prize and honorary president for the next.
I think she needs to be committed to a mental facility for a evaluation, because I'm not sure she's all there.
Possibly not. That's okay though, because whatever. Anything else you want to talk about sports related?
I know you're not a big college basketball person, but
oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait, stop right there on that thought. We have to give my mom props.
Oh, you did. Right. Exactly.
So the NCAA bracket, we did a bracket challenge, and it looks like I'm taking third place in the challenge. You are taking sixth.
Oh, go add 6.
James Hines is taking second, and it'll add a 7 because TJ didn't fill out his bracket. But my mom, Anya Balcom, rode the basement of this tournament from week 1. She in the first round. We're just gonna go through this real quick because it was bad. On the east side, she had North Carolina State somehow beating Duke in the first round. She had VCU beating UCF. She had Belmont beating Maryland. She had Louisville beating Minnesota. So she got 1, 2, 3, 4 wrong in the first round. She had VCU beating North Dakota State, which obviously ended up being Duke and UCF. So she got that one wrong. She had Virginia Tech going on to that round. That was wrong because Duke continued to ride it through. She had the Belmont game wrong. She had Louisville getting past the second round. She had LSU getting past the third round. Like, she had LSU in the Sweet 16. That obviously didn't pan out. Her damn bracket looks like Christmas. There's so much red on this goddamn thing. It's unbelievable. Like I said, she rode the back of the bus all the way through. Then we get to the Elite 8. Her Elite 8 was Virginia Tech versus LSU. Obviously, it was Duke versus Michigan State. Michigan State ended up winning, so she got 3 wrong in that side. On the other side, she had Kansas versus ABIL, whoever the fuck that is, in her Elite 8 with Kansas winning. It ended up being Auburn and UK. The other side, she had Virginia and St. Mary's in the Elite 8. Virginia obviously came out of that, which she had right. And then on the other side, she had Texas Tech and Michigan State, which she ended up getting right. I believe she may be the only person on the planet that had a national championship game of Texas Tech versus University of Virginia.
ABIL is Abilene Christian.
Okay.
And she had them a 15 seed beating Kentucky.
Yeah. She had them getting into like the Elite 8, which is unbelievable. But she literally has the championship game predicted correctly. All those things wrong. She took Texas Tech and Virginia to be in the final championship game, with Virginia ultimately being her winner. So the whole season, or the whole bracket, she literally rode last place. James was in first place. Me and you were fighting for second and third the whole way through, right? James looked like the proverbial runaway champion. She jumped from 62 points to 87 points with the fact that she has her championship game correct. She now is up by 9. James has 0 chance of catching her, and she's going to win our bracket challenge.
And nobody has a chance of catching her.
Win.
Nobody has a chance of catching her.
So I'm saying nobody can catch her because no one else has anything. James had Gonzaga. I had UNC. Tom, Sarah, Greg all had Duke. So props to her. I don't think she even knows who Virginia is. I know she knows who Texas Tech is because she's from Texas, and a lot of her friends are entrenched in the Texas Tech culture. But big props. She literally is like one of 6 people on the planet that had that bracket. I shouldn't even say that she was correct getting there. She just happened to stumble upon that at the very end. So congrats. She's going to be the winner of our bracket challenge. And that's
like James said, I think, and I heard this today, I think there was less than 0.1% of the brackets that were submitted had this final or this championship game. So your mom's in pretty rarefied air up there.
Hold on, let's see if I can find that championship correct. You said I don't watch a lot of basketball, but college basketball. What was your thought before?
A couple of really good games last night. The last 3 minutes of the Michigan State Texas Tech game, or was it Virginia? Who'd Virginia play? I don't remember now.
Virginia beat Auburn, right?
Yeah. So the last couple of minutes of the Virginia Auburn game was crazy, with fouls being called and players kicking balls and double dribbling, and Virginia scored like 8 points in the last 15 seconds to win. Guy hit 3 free throws with 0.6 tenths of a second on the clock to put Virginia in the final game. It was a pretty intense game. And then Texas Tech just pretty much beat the crap out of Michigan State. So it was a lot of exciting basketball. So, unfortunately, Texas Tech and Virginia play a pretty similar game, and that's a defensive, slow it down game. I heard the over and under on this game is the lowest it's been in 25 years. So it's not going to be a real exciting game, but should be a fun game to watch. So
0.02% of people had the Final Four correct.
Wow.
It doesn't say. I can't find how many people have the championship game correct, but I would say it's a safe bet that nobody on the planet had as many games wrong going into the Final Four that still came out with national champions correct.
Right.
Absolutely ridiculous how she pulled that off, but she did, and kudos to her, and she has a chance of winning our entire bracket by picking the only proper national champion. So
yeah,
good on her. Here we go. Let's see. When they say they must have been changed, so they turn the corner until they pay them long term. Yeah, I saw something the other day that said, keep this in mind. Everyone working the Final Four gets paid except for the players playing in the game, which is, obviously isn't a.
Let's don't start
thing.
that again. God,
no, I know. Barn Bomb. By the way, guys, one baseball note to pass along: the New Orleans Baby Cakes are moving to Wichita, Kansas this fall or winter. There will be no AAA baseball in New Orleans for the 2020 season. Do you think the New Orleans Pelicans are next, and will they become the Supersonics? Yes.
Yes, I agree.
I think that New Orleans is Saints territory and Saints territory only. Well, and LSU.
Yeah, but here's the problem with that, though, is the person that owns the Saints also owns the Pelicans.
Yeah, but the person who owns the Saints makes his money on the Saints and literally is just leveraging money for nothing to the Pelicans. He's barely breaking even. He's funding the Pelicans by using the Saints.
Hold on.
I think he wipes his hands on the Pelicans.
Time out.
No.
It's not a him, it's a her. He died a couple of years ago, so it's the wife. And the wife is carrying out the wishes of her husband of, I'm not selling the team and I'm not moving them. So there's going to have to be something. The NBA is going to have to step in or something. But
no, I don't think so.
She's not going to sell the team.
There's one thing that's going to happen that's going to cause this team to sell or move. And that's Anthony Davis is going to leave this offseason. And once Anthony Davis leaves, but once Anthony Davis leaves and they go another season and see that the revenue that they're making goes from nearly breaking even to losing a shit ton of money and having to take from the Saints' profits in order to keep them afloat, I think that changes because they're going to have confidence that even if Anthony Davis leaves, that they're going to be able to get someone in here and they're going to be able to, save the ship. But I think what's going to happen is they're going to ultimately realize that it is a sinking ship. And I think you're going to see Chris Hansen or someone in Seattle throw a truckload of money at them. It's going to blow away the Ballmer purchase of the Clippers. It's going to blow away the Kings overvaluation that Vivek had to pay to keep the team. You're going to see Seattle throw stupid money at them, and there's going to be no way for them to say no. And on top of that, you mentioned it, I think the NBA steps in and goes, look, they're throwing more money at you than you'll ever see for this franchise. Take it.
That's the only way that she sells is the NBA has to step in because her I don't know if it was his dying wish, but his wish was I'm not selling either one of these teams, and I want to keep them here. So that's what she's doing. She's just living out what her husband wanted.
I think eventually money will somewhat talk, and it's going to be one of those things where her family will get around her and say, look, they're sending this much money at you. We can put this much more money into the Saints and build up the franchise because Drew Brees is leaving. I think there's going to be a shift in focus, and it's going to be one of those things where we tried to honor him, and I could see it turning. Like if it were me, I would turn it and go, okay, you said that you want to honor him or he wants to keep the team. You want to honor him by doing so. You tried. Now, is it really going to be honoring him by running a shitty franchise who's losing money and diminishing what he built up with the Saints? Like, there's a way to spin it that, okay, we gave it 5 years, we gave it 6 years, it's not working, it's only going to get worse because we're losing our superstar player. No one's going to want to come here. And then eventually the trickle-down effect. And then the NBA also has vested interest in the New Orleans Pelicans. They owned them for a little while before they were bought by this owner. So they can come back and go, look, even we tried and it didn't work. You guys saved our ass. Now we're looking to save your ass back because it's about to start failing.
It's not going to work. It's New Orleans is not. There isn't the money in New Orleans for people to buy 41 games worth of tickets. There's just isn't that kind of money.
Buy 8 or 9 games worth of tickets from the Saints to pay the Drew Brees contract.
Yeah, but there's enough money to do that. New Orleans is not a wealthy town. There's a lot of poverty in that town, and I've been there. I've spent a lot of time in New Orleans, and surprisingly, basketball should be a more popular sport with the makeup, but it just doesn't. And that's a Saints town, and I think a lot of it is that city's going to pick one team that they're going to support, and there's just not enough money to support multiple teams. There's just not.
Right. All right. The part that you've been waiting for.
Brock Lesnar.
Today is WrestleMania. It's predicted right now that WrestleMania could be the longest ever by way of 6 hours.
Oh, God.
There's like 75 matches or some shit. No, I'm just kidding. It's not that many, but it feels like there's like 75 matches. And I'm just going to run through them and I'm going to make a prediction. And I want you just not knowing anything just to make predictions because I think it'll just be fun that way.
Okay.
So we're going to go WrestleMania predictions. Because I have a feeling that without you knowing the storylines, you'll probably.
I'm going to be your mom. I'm going to be your mom.
Yeah, you're gonna end up being better than this. So women's title match, and this by the way is already announced that the women's title match is going to. Oh, Adam wants to talk about professional darts. Let's do. No, I was kidding. You missed all the real sports talk, man. Now it's Rusev Day. They've already announced that women's title match between Ronda Rousey, Charlotte Flair, and Becky Lynch will be the main event of WrestleMania for the first time ever.
Wow.
35 years of WrestleMania. This will be the very first time that a women's match is the closing match of a WrestleMania pay-per-view, which is pretty cool. Women's champion, Raw champion Ronda Rousey versus SmackDown champion Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch. Winner takes all.
Now, is that Ric Flair's daughter?
Yes. Rumor has it that they're going to unify the women's championship and make it one women's champion that defends on both shows instead of having it split the way that they currently do. Reason for this is they just recently announced for the first time ever that they brought on, it's not announced, Sasha and Bailey are currently the first ever Raw women or WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. There's never been a women's tag team belt. They just announced it and made it a thing a couple months ago. So it looks like they're going to eventually break the women off of brand specific and have them on all shows. So winner takes all: Ronda Rousey, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch.
All right, I'm pulling that picture so I can see it. I don't know who this redheaded chick is, but she looks pretty hot.
She's basically, so Becky Lynch, I'll give you a little quick synopsis of her. They've given her free reign on her heel character, basically letting her do whatever the fuck she wants. And she's dubbed herself the man, like she's, the wrestler basically. Imagine Stone Cold Steve Austin's reign and run that he had being just the ultimate badass. She's the female Stone Cold Steve Austin right now. She has the most heat on her. She has the most fan base on her. And she can literally do no wrong when it comes to WWE right now. And she's hot.
And I'm going strictly for the women's matches. I'm going to be complete pig and
go by looks.
I'm going by looks, and I'm going with her. I'm going with the redhead.
All right, that's who I'm taking as well, Becky Lynch. And bold prediction: Ronda Rousey leaves WWE for a short time because it's been rumored that she wants to focus on having children for the time being. So Ronda Rousey will lose. This will be her first ever loss in WWE, and she will leave and be away for a while. Universal Championship, which is right here.
God.
Universal Championship. Seth Rollins is challenging
Brock Lesnar.
for that right there. You got to imagine Brock Lesnar is heading back to UFC soon to face Daniel Cormier or someone else. So I am taking Rollins. Actually, you know what? I'm taking Brock tonight. Brock Lesnar will win tonight, and then he will lose tomorrow night on Raw, and then leave.
I'm going Brock Lesnar too. I just, he's just the superior athlete to who's he fighting?
Seth Rollins. Are you just making up commentary now?
Yeah,
he's just far superior. WWE
Seth
champion.
Rollins. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. What were you going to say? I want to hear this commentary. This would be great.
I was going to say Seth Rollins is a pretty good actor, isn't he? An actor? Is it Seth Rollins? Oh, no, that's Seth Rogen.
Yeah, Seth Rogen. Not to be confused with Hot Tub Time Machine,
right?
Jesus. WWE champion Daniel Bryan puts his hemp and wood championship belt on the line against Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston's been in WWE for 11 years. And he's never had a chance to compete one-on-one for a major title. And if he wins, it'll be the first time ever that an African-American male wins the most prestigious championship at WrestleMania. So I have a feeling that along with the women barrier being broken down, I believe Kofi Kingston also gets to break down a barrier of the color barrier for the WWE championship as well.
And I really like Kofi Kingston's finishing move as opposed to the other guy. He's got a stronger finishing move, so I think
and what's that called?
The Kofi. He's gonna Kofi.
It's the Kofi. It's amazing. I also think that after the match, New Day breaks up and Big E attacks Kofi Kingston.
Isn't he Roman a rapper? Big E?
No, that's Easy E. Roman Reigns, coming back from his leukemia announcement, challenges Drew McIntyre in a I believe it's a falls count anywhere or a no. Yeah, I believe it's a falls count anywhere match, so it can go anywhere in the arena.
This is actually one of the guys I do know. I know Roman Reigns.
Oh, you did take Kofi. That's right.
Yeah, I do like Roman Reigns. I know who he is. He's got a pretty cool commercial where he plays the little teapot with his daughter.
Yeah.
So on the best teapot commercial, I'm going with Roman Reigns.
All right. AJ Styles battles Randy Orton for just a one-on-one bout. Two industry
Randy
leaders.
Orton must be about 300 years old because I remember Randy Orton.
That was That was Bob Orton, his dad.
Oh, okay.
That you probably remember.
I'm going to keep it in the family. Let's go Orton.
I'm also going to take Orton in this one. I think it's going to be a really good match. Triple H, who may be 300 years old because I know you remember Triple H, is battling Batista. Dave Batista, you may know him from the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. He's the big guy. Batista, this is Batista's final match. He's always said he wanted one match before he hangs up the boots. He's always said he wanted Triple H. It's a nose hold barred match. Triple H has never beat
a nose hold barred.
No holds barred.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say you can't hold their nose.
Right, the nose hold is barred. Triple H has never beaten Batista one-on-one, and they put Triple H's career on the line. So if Triple H loses, he has to retire. If he wins, then he gets to continue on.
Triple H has retired about 45 times, hasn't he?
He might have, yeah.
And he's not going anywhere because he's banging the owner's daughter. So,
right.
I'm going with the guy that I know. I'm going with Triple H. I think the other guy goes out in a stretcher.
That might actually be pretty accurate. Intercontinental Championship, Bobby Lashley. If you've watched any Bellator or any other MMA stuff, you'll know that name. Goes up against Finn Balor for the Intercontinental Championship, but Balor announced that he will be summoning the demon. Demon Finn Balor will be in the ring against. Yeah, exactly.
Demon.
You should look up the Demon Finn Balor. It's a very interesting makeup, but the Demon Finn Balor has never lost at a pay-per-view. So
I'm going. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm around Finns and Dolphins so much that I got to go with Finn.
So you're going with the Demon as well.
Hashtag flippers up.
That's right. United States champion Samoa Joe battles Rey Mysterio.
Ooh, I know Rey Mysterio.
Right.
He's been around for 100 years too.
And this is Samoa Joe's first ever WrestleMania match.
Samoa Joe has got a great restaurant. I think it's up in Eureka. It's called the Samoan Cookhouse. I'm going with Rey Mysterio. I'm going with the little Mexican dude that wears a mask all the time.
That's him. Women's tag team.
I got some knowledge. Some knowledge.
Women's tag team championship match. We have Sasha Banks and Bailey defending against Beth Phoenix and Natalya, Nia Jax, Tamina Snuka. You probably remembered Superfly Jimmy Snuka.
Yeah.
He never
He was
died.
badass.
And the Iconics, who are terrible.
Who are the hottest two chicks?
By far the champions, Bailey and Sasha Banks.
That's who I'm going with.
Yeah, it's me as well. Bailey and Sasha, they're gonna keep it. Rey Mysterio,
hold on.
in the ring.
Adam Sierra asked, Rey Mysterio died though, right?
No, he didn't die. Rey Mysterio's been the same.
Somebody.
Yeah, he killed someone in the ring, but he did not die in the ring. The Miz from Real World fame battles Shane McMahon in a Falls Count Anywhere match.
Wow. I hate Shane McMahon. He was a dick when he was a kid, and he's a dick now. I'm going with the other guy. I don't even know what his name is, but I want Shane McMahon to get his ass kicked.
All right, I'm going with Shane, just because I think he's going to jump off the roof somehow. Kurt Angle in his final match of his career versus Baron Corbin, who's an idiot. And I have a bold prediction for this one as well.
I'm going Kurt Angle. He's, just with his experience and his ring presence and just his ability to cut off the ring with his opponent. and he's got all that. Isn't he the Olympic wrestler too?
Yeah, he won a gold medal with a broken freaking neck.
Yeah, so he's got this one.
I also think that somehow Baron Corbin cheats in the very beginning. He loses or for a win, and then John Cena comes out and says, no, this isn't how Kurt Angle's career is ending. We're going to have a final match because Kurt Angle gave John Cena his very first match years ago, and I think it's fitting that he would end it with a Kurt Angle match. If it doesn't happen tonight and this match is a farce, then I believe that John Cena challenges Kurt Angle tomorrow night on Raw to give him a proper farewell, not something bullshit versus Baron Corbin. God damn, there's a lot of fucking matches. SmackDown.
We don't need to go through all of them.
No, we're almost done. SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos, sons of Rikishi, go up against Ricochet and Aleister Black, The Bar, and Rusev. And
I gotta go with Aleister Black because I went to elementary school. One of my best friends was named Aleister Black.
Really?
Yeah, and he couldn't be as far away from a wrestler as you could possibly get. He was a genius, so I'm going with Aleister Black.
Nice. I'm gonna go with Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev because, after all, it is Rusev Day.
It's Rusev Day.
Raw Tag Team Champions, The Revival versus Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins.
I like Ryder's trucks. I've used them quite a bit, so I'm going with Ryder.
So I'm going to go with Ryder and Hawkins as well, simply for the fact that the storyline right now is since Kurt Hawkins has come back to WWE, which was like 2 years ago, he's on a 230 match losing streak. He's literally lost. They've had him lose every single match since he's come back. That includes house shows, that includes pay-per-views, Raw, SmackDown, wherever he's been, he's lost. So I think he finally breaks his streak. It's got to be like 230, 250, something like that. Cruiserweight Championship is on the kickoff show, so we don't give a damn because I don't even know who two of these guys are. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal is also on the kickoff show. It's like a 40-man or 25-man battle royal, winner over the top rope kind of deal. They all start out playing together. I just got to imagine that Braun Strowman wins that because no one really cares. There's also a women's battle royal. I hope Mandy Rose wins that because she's the hottest one out of all of them.
Go Mandy!
No, dude, you need to Google Mandy Rose WWE just right now. I'll wait.
Ha ha! Go Mandy! Here's my bold prediction: Mandy Rose is gonna jump into the championship match and beat the shit out of Ronda Rousey.
Mandy Rose is gonna beat Brock Lesnar. She's gonna jump in together. You can follow her on Instagram too. It's a pretty good follow.
And if she takes off her top, look out!
Greg Rose is gonna buy her a house.
Intercontinental champion for the rest of her life.
They're gonna make a new champion just for her. Let's see, and then.
Dude, there's one with her kind of hello, mama.
And we lost Greg Veroza.
You started it. You got me doing this.
So, yeah, and then John Cena is still up in the air if he's going to have a match. Match or not. So, that's WrestleMania 35's card. I'm going to splice this audio and make it its own standalone segment because it's hilarious how you broke it all down. And it should be fun. So, anything else you want to throw in before we wrap it up?
Nope, I'm good. Everything. It's going to be a good week this week. A lot of good sports on. So, interested to see who wins the game on Monday night. Although I won't be able to watch it, but
How is our? I didn't pay. We didn't pay any bills this week. Jesus Christ.
No, we didn't.
I'll do some special social media.
Wait a minute. You said there was going to be some props or some apologies or something going on my direction.
What was it for?
Your house.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
So Greg Rosa, as you guys know, he's my realtor, and we have our house listed, and it's for sale, and it's actually in contract. And we were giving Greg shit because he mentioned that this house has a very spacious open floor plan, and it went out on the ad. It went out on the open house flyers. It went out everywhere that the floor plan was open, and we gave him shit for it and asked him to fix it. And he said it's not going to be important. We don't need to fix it, although he did fix it anyway, so I'll give him credit for that.
Yeah.
But the open floor plan was a huge success and selling point because Greg not only listed our house on Friday afternoon at about noon, but at 8:30 p.m., even with the open floor plan, had a offer on the table over asking price with a 21-day close. And we're 13 days away now, it looks like, from that open floor plan being new for this new family. So congrats to you. Maybe you should put plan in all of your listings.
I think I'm just going to put a misspelling in every listing from now on. So
just to show that you're human and not just like a machine-based realtor, right?
That's it. So yeah, no, it was a good offer. I think you were really smart taking it. We could have played around and maybe gotten a little bit more, but I sometimes the highest offer is not the best. And with a quick close, get everything done. You guys did a good job cleaning it up too. So it's
right now we just got to go finish cleaning it out because we haven't started that, by the way.
Oh yeah,
so we got some time. But yeah, on top of that, we definitely appreciate your hard work. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, you definitely hit up Greg Baroza, Keller Williams Realty. All of his information is on our website, which is newly designed, by the way. Our website got a total overhaul. It's very much blog based now. There's a lot more readily available information and articles and stories and coverage and everything like that right on our website, which it's much more easier to navigate, especially from mobile. So check it out. Addison Moore is dropping.
You did a good job. You did a good job on
that. There's a new landing page for Sharks Talk 916. There's a new interface for everything that's going on. So definitely check out sportstalk916.com. All of our contact information is there. You can obviously find us on Facebook. We're on Spotify. We're on Google Music. And we are on iTunes. So for Greg Veroza, I am Greg Bull. This has been episode 277. Happy Rusev Day, everybody. And we will see you all next week.